Well, lots of irons in the fire right now as we prepare to get it ready for mud season in winter. We're already a little bit later in the season than typical for that to kick off, so we're just keeping our fingers crossed and going like heck. I'm going to deal with this problem today. This trailer basically been here, I think, since last fall, since I pulled the power washer off of the back of it. It's a super well-built, heavy-duty trailer, but it's got some issues with the axle being way too far back. I don't know why they did it this way, but that's how they built it. It initially had like an IBC tote mounted on the very front, and then the power washer behind that. But if you think about it and you look at it, that puts the whole IBC tote, the front, way above the axle. And when you get 250 gallons of water, that's like 2,000 pounds of weight, all directly weighing down on the tongue. I was initially just going to take the trailer and repurpose it directly for a welding trailer, mount my big blue welder on the back and some things. But I actually put that welder right on the very tail of the deck. What I found was, even with that big heavy duty welder sitting all the way back here behind the wheels, I still couldn't pick up the tongue of the trailer manually to hitch it. It was still way too heavy with everything else empty. So this thing's going to be a back burner project. I don't want to get rid of it. The axle is the right size axle for doing a welder trailer, but the trailer itself is just way too robust for that. So it might end up being one of those things where we change out the axle on this trailer, maybe put a different heavier axle and move it forward so it's better balanced, reuse this trailer for other things, use that axle onto a new built frame for the welder, something like that. But in order to back burner this, I got to get all this steel off of here. But I'm tired of having this clutter and be in the way, and I don't want it here going into winter. So today I'm going to use the new welder and do some work inside using some of this thick-walled tubing. I got a lot of these tubing, square, rectangle, round tubing that are heavy duty. So I'm going to use enough of it to make just a small steel rack to go against the wall, and it'll be enough to get all of these other tubings stacked up on there. And then this plate steel that I have also, I'm going to put just an upright to stand the sheets into that as well and hold them. So we're going to do that today. I got campers here for the next day or two, so as I've said many times before, I try to avoid doing any work anywhere near the campsite. It's hard for me to think that it's very fair to do work down near the campsite and make a noise when somebody's paying for the peace and quiet of coming up camping. So basically I have a loose idea in my head of something that looks like this, I guess, and then has a couple of upright pegs and maybe an adjustable base leg here and here, and basically two of that. Oh, maybe I'll have it come a little long and then have an upright here for the sheet stacks to go into here, and tubing and or angle iron or whatever pieces stacked across those two shelves. We're just going to build on the fly for dimensions and get it built. Well, this is only the second time using this little welder, and I'm very much more impressed with it each time I use it. I'm kind of getting a feel for the numbers of where the amperage settings and everything like that. That's where I've got it set right now, to weld that thickness of tubing, which is 3/4 by 2 inch OD. And I don't know, that's fairly thick stuff. I'm not going to put calipers on it, but it looks like definitely 1/8 inch wall. That weld's a heck of a lot better looking. I haven't brushed it yet. I'm going to brush it off real quick and see. But just looking at it after, I knew if I got a feel for it, it'd get a lot better pretty quick. So I'm going to brush those real quick. Yeah, that's a lot better looking weld than my first ones with the flux core. And then those are threaded adjustable bases on the feet, so that when it stands up I can adjust those bolts and get it leveled out and setting good. Brush this one and then we'll start doing the connecting braces to go from side to side, and then I'll cut with the round stock. I'll cut some pegs to go on the shelves. Okay, I just finished spraying it, so I gotta let it cure for a while before I actually use it. But I think it turned out just fine. It's gonna work out great. I decided last minute to add the cleat on the front of this. This is down at like a 5-degree angle, and I thought, well, it's still a good shelf, as long as it's got a stopper on the front. So I had a couple of scraps, I added them to the front. These I added to the back for sheet steel to lay in there and stand upright. That'll hold quite a bit in there. And then of course the 3 additional shelves going up and adjustable feet so I can get it situated so it's nice and stable and flat in there against the wall. It's gonna work out great. I'll let that cure tonight, drive for the next 24 hours or so.
While Mark and Everest are putting the engine back together for Everest's car, me and Logan are going to move and organize the new metal rack that Mark made. So for a while we were thinking it was gonna go right here. And then after me and Mark talked about it, I think we're gonna move it to where this bandsaw is at. So me and Logan are gonna move everything and we're gonna put it right here. And the only reason why we wanna put it right here is for the access of long strips of metal if needed. I don't think we're gonna be doing that anytime soon, but it'd just be nice to have a permanent space for it. For now, we'll see how it works and go from there. Me and Logan are gonna get to work and get this all organized. And that way Mark can move the trailer off the driveway and that just cleans up another spot around this area around the shop. Our goal is to kind of get it really cleaned up so it looks tidy all the time and things are put away. I am now going to clean up this spot so I can move the bandsaw over here. I'm doing like a full clean, so like sweep and mop, and then that way the floor stays, I don't know, as clean as it can for whatever time limit. And now I'm looking at, like, we need also a lumber rack possibly, and maybe a miscellaneous rack as well. So we'll have to start looking into those as well. But the lumber rack, I know we're gonna put one in the wood shop when we build it back here. I could probably go in and just power wash this whole floor and so on, and that would probably be the easiest way. But we have so many things in the way, and if I just take little compartments and get them all cleaned up, then that works for me. It's like the European in me knowing that if I sweep and mop, that it just is clean. Logan and I are gonna focus now on this area and get this cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead and move the steel rack over here, get it when it's all cleaned up, and we're gonna find loose pieces like this all over the shop. And we'll get it all cleaned up and put in one area. So lots to do still, but we're getting it done and it's looking really nice. I couldn't get the rust stains out, and I'm sure there's a chemical or something I could use to get it out, but I'm okay with the way it looks. Got most of the other stains out of the way. It's time to load this rack up. I tell you what, Mark sure made a nice rack. Honey, nice rack. All right, we're gonna load it up. I guess it wobbles and Mark wanted it adjusted. He goes, well, does it wobble? I said, I don't know, probably. All right, that looks good. Let's load it up. Yeah, Logan? You ready? Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. That looks really nice. That looks really organized, and I think Mark is really pleased with it. Mark, what do you think?
I like it.
You like it?
Yep.
Oh, it looks like I'm talking to your rear end.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. I think we're... Look at the camera, damn it.
You can. I got shit to do.
Okay, we're done. If I find any more metal, I'll put it away. Now I know where to put it. Sound good?